All right, I'm gonna get right into this. So, as of yesterday, you all know it was Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a holiday that we celebrate because it is the actual day that African Americans was set free from slavery. So it's a part of African American history in the United States of America. Now, let me look up ChatGPT. Uh, New chat. We're gonna talk about this Karmelo Anthony situation real quick. Real quick. I think this happened in 23. I'm not sure. No, when did the incident happen? It was in 25. The incident happened last year. So as you know, the moral of the story is they was at a track meet. It was raining outside, so Carmelo went underneath the tent of another school. Some boys approached him. The last name of two of the boys, which are twins, their last names is Metcalf. One name is Austin Metcalf. I don't know the other brother name. And there was some other individuals. He also said he went to have a conversation with someone he knew for a long time. Now, according to sources, the individual, the boy he knew, is actually in a relationship with his cousin. So they was having a conversation, and the other guys, which are Metcalf and I guess maybe a couple of friends, approached him trying to antagonize him and get him to move out of the tent. He told him not to put his hands on him, and he did. I guess he did, and I don't know. I'm hearing from other sources that others put hands on him as well, because they're actually the video footage is out, so it looked like more than two people are actually like scuffling for a quick minute, and then Carmelo ended up stabbing Austin Metcalf and then ran and was arrested. And following a year later, going back, I guess a week or two ago, they removed all the black jurors off of the jury, because this happened in Texas, and everybody know the history of Texas. Texas is a completely racist state. My opinion, as a black individual, regardless of what year it is, how much progress we made, you wouldn't catch me living in Texas at all, nowhere. Now, they removed all the black jurors. The jury found him guilty of murder. Of course, he did murder someone, and no one, whether you white, black, Hispanic, we're not saying he didn't murder anyone. We know he murdered Austin Metcalf. But the argument is self-defense. So I need people to stop acting like they don't know common sense, common knowledge, and can't read. Okay? Everybody else use ChatGPT for anything else. Before ChatGPT, AI, y'all was using Google. Define self-defense. So let's look up self-defense real quick. I hope y'all see this screen. I don't know what is going on with my OBS just resetting how my images are sized, and it's pissing me off. Okay. Okay. Self-defense is a legal and factual concept that refers to the use of reasonable force to protect yourself or another person. Now, I didn't even know protecting someone else was also considered self-defense. So this is new to me. You learn something new every day. Now, ChatGPT AI can't be lying, so I'm going to look into this further. But self-defense is a legal and factual concept that refers to the use of reasonable force to protect yourself or another person from imminent harm or unlawful force. Okay, if Metcalf and his friends put hands on Karmelo, for the people who are acting like they are slow in today's world, that is self-defense. Now, so basically that's what happened. He defended himself. Now, of course, the jury ruled it guilty for murder, because yes, he did murder someone. Regardless of self-defense or not, it is murder. But like we were saying, the argument is self-defense. So when you have, when it's proven that it's self-defense, your years you go to prison is not as lengthy compared to like first-degree murder or any other charge or verdict. So they sentenced him the same day they came up with a verdict from the jury, which is so rare. We don't see this happen too much at all. You know, in my time, I haven't seen it happen. I'm pretty sure it happened like, you know, a small percentage of times here and there, but we don't rarely at all ever see the sentencing from the judge the same day as a jury verdict. Now, he sentenced him to 35 years in jail. So, let's look up the ruling. What was the ruling for this case? I want to make sure I get all the information correct. Okay, yes. So, guilty of first-degree murder. Self-defense claim was rejected by jury. So, the jury is the ones who rejected the self-defense claim. So, that is a problem. So, and remind you, they removed all black jurors from this trial. What did you remove jurors for? I want to do more extensive research on that. Sentenced to 35 years in prison. Now, this is what's questioning me. If he's guilty of first-degree murder and he is 19 years old, so you're tried as an adult, why did he just get 35 years? If you guys are claiming that is murder in the first degree, you just get 35 flat years. The average individual that I know or we have seen, majority in the past, get a first degree murder charge, their life in prison is automatic, like 20 years, 20 some years. Like we seen with the situation when Nip was murdered. What's his name? I think his name was Eric. Eric Holder. He got, I think, 66 years to life in prison. So let's look up the typical sentencing for first-degree murder. Because this is very interesting, the sentencing. If you guys claim that it wasn't self-defense, why do you have that sentence? Here we go. These are the typical charges for first-degree murder. Life imprisonment. You see this? Life imprisonment. If it wasn't self-defense, if the jury's claiming that, why didn't he get life? Why did he just get a flat 35 years? Okay, so the second one is death penalty in some states. Normally the death penalty comes when there's premeditated murder, which is a murder you planned. So this don't matter in this situation. This is normally for aggravated murder, aggravated cases. The third one is mandatory minimums. Some states require no possibility of parole. Others set minimum terms before parole eligibility, often 25, 30 to 40 years. So he got the third one, mandatory minimum. So his is just mandatory 35 years. So if they want to claim so bad that he just is outright murder, why did they give him the number one option, which was life imprisonment? They gave him flat 35 years, and he could get out in 35 years. He's 19 years old. Let's do the calculations. That's how you know it's a load of BS, because after this case, He gets out at 54 years old before he hits 60. And then the judge retired after this. What are you retiring for? We're hearing rumors that this was already planned. BS. That stuff we're hearing in the media. Where is the paperwork and documents that this judge that was on this case, planned to retire after this case? Where is that at? Everything is in the media. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We don't know what's really true. Now, a whole year later, after the incident, after the sentencing, and everything is technically over as of right now, because they did file an appeal. Karmelo Anthony and his family, they filed an appeal. But why do y'all release the footage of the situation, the stabbing, the fights on Juneteenth, where we celebrate Black history? You have to understand, regardless of your skin tone and who you are, what they're doing and what they stand for. It's a slap in the face, and they playing with us. 2, I think it's very important to teach our kids, not even just kids, I don't care, teach whoever needs to take certain steps when you're in situations like Karmelo Anthony. Because this don't just happen in kids in school. Bullying is all over in so many different shapes and forms. We got social media, internet, cyberbullying. They call that cyberbullying, bullying in school. There's bullying on jobs. People, regardless of who you are, learn how to take note on every situation that happened. Date, time, what happened during situations, and witnesses. Do not spare not one witness. I don't care if they're your family, friend, or whoever. Because if you keep a paper trail of what's going on, and also report, like if you're in school, report to teachers. Write it down when you report to teachers. Report to counselors. Write it down when you report it to counselors. Even principal and coaches. Write it down, date and time, witnesses, or what was said when you reported certain situations. It is the same thing on jobs. I've been through something very similar. Maybe, I want to say probably 3 or 4 times in the past on jobs, where you deal with harassment, retaliation, targeting, discrimination. When I was younger in my 20s, I didn't keep track of nothing. But the older I get, and you realize what world you live in, you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. I kept track of everything. Date, time, witnesses of what happened on a previous job that I was on. And I also reported it to human resources and to unions. And it don't stop there. I'm not going into too much information, but it's not stopping there. Long story short, I'm no longer with that job, but there's other steps to take. For the ones that's on jobs that go through any of those situations, whether it's harassment, discrimination, whatever, report it to the EEOC. Okay. Everybody's so quick to try to go get lawyers. EEOC. Tell you exactly who they are and what they do. EEOC stands for Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. They investigate complaints of discrimination based on race, sex, religion, national origin, disability, genetic information, age. What it covers: hiring and firings, promotion, layoffs, pay and benefits, harassment, retaliation for reporting discrimination. That's also important. This is why I tell you, when you report to human resources, and then, or like say you report to human resources or your union, if you have a union on your job, anything they do after that, whether it's harassment, discrimination, targeting, that is retaliation. Okay? write and document everything, because it sets a paper trail of what was going on and who and what was involved. So then when you have situations like this, when you do defend yourself, this could work in your favor, especially for people that's on jobs or anything like that. It can and most likely will work in your favor because you kept track of everything and you did the necessary steps to have change and adjustments made. Now, I'm gonna show you a couple of these videos because one thing is, I don't know why it took them this long to show these videos, because once everything hits social media, you got a billion tweets about one situation. Now they want to release footage because the public is demanding it. Whether they showed the footage or not, I don't know if it really makes a difference to us, because there was people who demanded to see the footage during the trial that was in Karmelo Anthony's defense. Now, hold on. Because one of these videos are, first of all, most of these videos are trash. They're horrible. Can't even see.
Let me do one more little check of you, okay? You don't hide for reaching your pockets, anything like that. You good? Some little under. What's your name, man? Kamelo Anthony, K-A-R-M-E-L-O.
You can tell this boy is well raised as well. The way he talks, how he, yes ma'am, he cooperated. And it's sad to the point where we have to bring weapons with us places we go because we fear for our life. He's just a young boy going to track meets, competing in sports, and you have people bullying him. Now, let's keep it a buck. People can say what they want about Karmelo, laugh, whatever. I could care less about that. My thing is, if you continue to bully anyone, because this is a lesson that should have been learned for the last couple of decades, but unfortunately, people are not getting to understand this message. Anything can happen to you any day of time. If a human being don't do nothing to you, hey, Mother Nature might, take its course. The universe might come back at you, because karma is real. You can't be out here bullying people. It's unfortunate that a young man lost his life. It really is. It sucks, and it's unfortunate because, you got to think about his mother. His mother has to bury her child. And then, based off the information we've been seeing in the media about the mother, I was hearing, I don't know if it's true, I'm going to look it up. She asked to pray with Karmelo's mother after the sentencing. So I don't know if she feels self-guilt, but it sounds like she's definitely understanding to, the situation, what happened. Understanding that two mothers lost a child. One lost one that's now gone, that's no longer here, and then another one is being sentenced to 35 years in jail, and then, but at the same time, I believe, as a mom, because this is what I do, if I feel like it could be the simplest thing, because I'm an overthinker, I could be thinking, okay, I could have did this better to make the situation better for my kids, or just make the situation better around them, or made another particular sacrifice to make their situation better or make things better for them. how can I approve as a mother? But when it get to a point where you lose a child, it's like she probably thinking like, man, where did I go wrong? Trust me, parents will think that, especially mothers. We carry a child for 9 months. It's an attachment. So you will always think what I could have did better, or what did I do wrong, or where did I go wrong. Especially if something like this happened, even though there's a strong chance it's not the mother's fault. I don't know her personally. I don't know her views against black people or whatever, but based on what I'm hearing, a mother that's racist wouldn't ask to pray with another black mother as her child got sentenced to jail. I believe that Metcalf's mom, I believe she is the one who's been trying her best to raise them boys and raise them the right way. Now, based off what we've seen and heard about the father, that man needs help. So everybody's going to assume that he is the problem with them boys, and they're not in a relationship either. Did not know that. I'm thinking the whole time the parents were married. They are not together. And he wanted to talk about baby mama and baby daddy stuff on social media after the sentencing. Sir, you have a baby mama too. He wanted to talk about baby mamas and broken homes. Sir, you're part of a broken home as well. Regardless of your fault or not, you in that same statistic. So it looks like the daddy is the problem. We don't know why the reason they split up. We don't know the people personally, but it looks like he's the problem. He has issues. And when you have issues like that, he may have some self-guilt. He probably thinking, damn, I should have went about life different. My son would still be alive. I should have taught him to be more of an individual who did not bully on people or not look down on someone because they're black, or to understand your place. Because like I said in the previous video when I was, talking about it, you are a 19-year-old. You're not the coach. You're not the person in charge. It is not your place to tell anyone to get out of anything. And just like that, it cost him his life, unfortunately. So what are we going to do as parents and individuals? Are we going to keep playing like we don't understand what's going on upstairs in our brains? Is we going to continue to teach 19-year-olds, oh yeah, go tell them to get out of the tent. Tell them to go try to push authority when they don't have the authority or the power to do so? Are we going to continue and allow our kids to bully? Because this is what's going to end up happening. Like, this Karmelo situation, we done seen way worse because of bullying. There's people who come in and shoot up schools because of bullying. There's people who come to shoot up buildings, grocery stores, because of their own internal issues or bullying. So when are we going to really sit here and teach our kids and the people around us to be better? Because this is going to be a repetitive cycle. It's not going to stop. It's just how the world operate. But let's keep it real. We on the internet talking about just look. I'll show you some of these stupid comments. Because what people not realizing, Karmelo got 35 years. Let's say when they redo this trial, and say if he hypothetically keep those 35 years, he still walks free in 35 years. When Metcalf is still dead and no longer here. So, what are we really going to teach people out here? Leave situations alone that don't have nothing to do with you. This is not your place. That's like me being on a job trying to tell somebody how to do their job. I ain't telling nobody how to do their job. You do your own job. You don't want to do it, oh well. It's not my place. Yeah, just stupid people. This is a lot of dumb people online. But seriously, let's start leading by example. I'm tired of people acting like they was never educated or they wasn't raised with the common sense God gave them in the beginning. Cause a lot of y'all lack it. It is a lot of people out here that lack it, and it's unfortunate because someone lost their life because it seemed like somebody in the household was raising him to be a bully. And I don't think it was the mother. I don't think it was the mother at all. I don't believe this is her fault. I believe it's the daddy's fault. It seemed like something's wrong with him. And he should, that father should feel exactly how he feel, like the piece of crap he is. Because to go online and talk retarded, stupid, and crazy and say the things that you said, it just doesn't make any sense.
James,
I feel bad.
Again this week. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with me. You kind of stuck with me.
I feel bad for the mother. It's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that mother, what is with this thing? Restart that. I don't know, this thing's irritating. But it's very unfortunate that this is what this family has to go through. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it. I'm gonna show this one video that they put out, which is very blurry. I mean, I could barely tell what's going on in this video. Okay, yeah, this is so blurry. Okay, hold on. So this is the tent. Yeah, some pushing and shoving right there. It happened so quick though. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I see. Hold on. Yeah. So there was some pushing and shoving. Looked like more than just two. Looked like three or four. Very blurry. I wish they would show prior to this as well. But of course, they only show what they want to show. But yeah, there was some pushing and shoving. Stabbed real quick and then bounced. Now they want to release the footage. And the footage y'all showed us gave us enough to prove self-defense. So I don't even understand the point of all this. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they out of pocket for dropping that Karmelo Anthony arrest footage on Juneteenth. This supposed to be Black People Freedom Day. They playing mind games. They know exactly what they doing. Playing games per usual. That's all they like to do is play games. No, I don't want no premium. I don't need that. Stop asking me. But yeah, hopefully these families can move forward and recover. Hopefully. Yeah, because so many celebrities spoke out about the footage too. They said, where's the footage at? All we hearing is all this stuff that happened, and it was never no footage until now, a year later. But that's my thoughts on it. They basically clarified what everybody was saying the whole entire time. Pushing, shoving, and then a stab, and then ran. They act like it was a brutal stab. Like he was just stabbing multiple times in the chest. It happened so quick. But yeah, that's all I have about this Karmelo situation. Well, I definitely keep track over time because we don't know when they're gonna redo this trial. So I don't know how long stuff like that take. I don't know if it's later in the year, next year, or whatever. But just wanted to give my thoughts. Definitely be live later on to talk about some different things. Definitely gonna talk about on some sports. Touch on the Kyrie Irving situation and the Cleveland Cavaliers 10-year anniversary. All right, see you guys later.